tired today, and I can see it clearly in your face, so please sit down and relax for a moment before you tell me anything about your day, because I know work must have been very busy and stressful again.
Yes, you are right. I feel extremely tired today because we had many problems at the office, and my manager kept giving me new tasks one after another without even asking if I had already finished the previous ones. So my mind feels very full and heavy now.
That sounds very difficult, and I really understand how stressful your job can be sometimes, because you always try to do everything perfectly, and you never like to leave your work unfinished, which makes you more tired than other people.
Thank you for understanding me, because sometimes I feel like nobody at work really understands how much effort I put into my job every single day. And when I come home, I just want a peaceful and quiet evening with you and the kids.
Speaking of the kids, today was also a very busy day at home because our son had a lot of homework and our daughter did not want to eat her lunch, and I had to spend almost 1 hour trying to convince her to finish her food.
Oh no, she is still refusing to eat properly again? And I really worry about her health when she behaves like that, because she needs good food to grow strong and healthy.
Yes, that is exactly what I told her many times, but she kept saying she was not hungry and that she wanted to play instead. So finally, I told her she could not watch cartoons in the evening if she did not finish her meal, and only then she started eating slowly.
That must have been very tiring for you, because taking care of children requires so much patience and emotional strength. And sometimes people think staying at home is easy, but they do not understand how much work you really do every day.
Thank you for saying that, because sometimes I feel very exhausted too, even though I do not go to an office like you, but managing the house, helping the children, cooking, cleaning, and planning everything for the family takes so much energy.
I truly appreciate everything you do for our family, and I know our home feels warm and peaceful because of your hard work and care. And without you, our daily life would be very confusing and difficult.
That means a lot to me, and hearing that makes me feel happy, because sometimes I wonder if I am doing enough as a mother and as a wife, especially when the children are difficult or when something goes wrong at home.
You are doing more than enough, and I see how much love and attention you give to our children every single day, and I am very grateful for that, because I know they are growing into kind and good people because of you.
I'm glad you feel that way, but we also need to talk about our son's school performance, because his teacher called me today and said he is not paying attention in class and often looks distracted.
That worries me, because he used to be very focused and curious about learning new things, so something must be bothering him or taking his attention away from his studies.
Yes, that is what I thought too, and when I asked him gently what was wrong, he said he feels nervous when the teacher asks questions in front of the whole class because he is afraid of making mistakes and being laughed at.
Oh, poor boy. That must be very stressful for him, because children can sometimes be unkind without realizing how their words can hurt others deeply.
Exactly, and I told him that making mistakes is a normal part of learning and growing, and nobody becomes perfect without trying many times and sometimes failing.
Maybe we should spend more time helping him with his homework and also encourage him to speak more confidently at home so he can slowly build courage and feel comfortable expressing himself.
That is a very good idea, and maybe every evening we can ask him to explain what he learned at school so he can practice speaking and sharing his thoughts without fear.
Yes, and we should listen carefully and praise him when he tries, even if he makes mistakes, because encouragement is very powerful for children.
I completely agree with you, and I think we should also talk to his teacher and ask how we can support him better, because working together is always more helpful than working alone.
That sounds like a responsible plan, and I'm glad we are discussing these things calmly, because parenting is not easy and we must always support each other.
Yes, supporting each other is very important, especially when life feels busy and overwhelming, like it has been recently for both of us.
Speaking of busy life, I've been thinking a lot about my job lately. And honestly, I feel a little worried about my future at the company because there are many changes happening and people are talking about possible staff reductions.
That sounds very serious, and I understand why you feel worried, because job security is very important when we have children and many responsibilities.
Yes, exactly. And sometimes I lie awake at night thinking about what would happen if I lost my job suddenly, because we have school fees, house expenses, and many other financial responsibilities.
I understand your fear, but please remember that you are very hardworking and experienced, and even if something changes, you will find another opportunity because your skills are valuable.
Thank you for believing in me, because your support always gives me strength when I feel uncertain about the future.
We are a team, and whatever happens, we will face it together because our family is stronger when we stand side by side and support each other emotionally and practically.
You are right, and hearing that makes me feel calmer already, because sometimes all I need is reassurance that we will manage everything together.
Of course we will, and if necessary, I can also think about finding part-time work again because the children are growing older now, and I may have more time during the day.
That is very thoughtful of you, but please do not rush into anything, because taking care of the home and children is already a full-time responsibility, and your well-being is also important.
I know, but I also want to contribute financially if possible because it will give us more security and also help me feel more independent and confident.
Then maybe we can explore some flexible options that don't make you too tired, because balance in life is very important for happiness and health.
Yes, we can think about it slowly and carefully because making good decisions requires time and calm thinking.
You know, sometimes I look at our life and realize how much we have grown together over the years, because we started with very little, but we built a warm home and a loving family.
That is true, and when I think about our early days, I remember how we used to worry about small things, but now we face bigger responsibilities with more strength and understanding.
Life has changed so much, but one thing has never changed, and that is how much I care about you and our family.
And I feel the same way, because no matter how busy or stressful life becomes, our love and commitment keep us strong and hopeful.
I'm really grateful for this quiet moment with you, talking about everything honestly, because these conversations help me feel peaceful again.
Me too, and I think sharing our thoughts and worries openly is one of the most important things in a marriage. I am really glad we talked about everything calmly earlier because it helped me feel lighter in my heart. And now I think we should also discuss something important that will happen tomorrow at our son's school.
Oh, yes, you mentioned that his teacher wanted to meet with parents, and I have been thinking about that meeting too, because I want to understand clearly what he is struggling with and how we can support him better.
The meeting is in the morning, and I plan to go early so I can speak with the teacher properly without feeling rushed, because I want to listen carefully and understand every detail about his behavior in class.
I wish I could come with you, but tomorrow morning I have an important presentation at work, and my manager specifically asked me to lead it, so it will be very difficult for me to leave the office.
That is completely understandable, and your work is also important for our family. So please do not worry, because I will take notes and explain everything to you when I come home.
Thank you, and please ask the teacher if our son seems unhappy or lonely at school, because sometimes children behave differently when they feel emotionally uncomfortable.
Yes, I will ask that carefully, and I will also ask if he needs extra help with certain subjects, because maybe he is falling behind in something and feeling embarrassed to admit it.
That is possible, and if he needs extra lessons or support, we should arrange it without making him feel pressured, because learning should feel encouraging, not frightening.
I agree completely, and I also want to ask the teacher how he interacts with other children, because social confidence is just as important as academic success.
Yes, children need to feel accepted and comfortable among their friends because that gives them emotional strength and helps them focus better on learning.
Sometimes I worry that we expect too much from him because we always want him to do well, behave properly, and grow into a successful person, but maybe he feels that pressure deeply.
That is a very thoughtful observation, and maybe we should remind him more often that our love does not depend on his grades or achievements, but on who he is as a person.
Yes, I want him to feel safe and confident at home because home should always be a place where he can relax and be himself without fear.
Absolutely. And we should create more family time together because lately our schedules have been so busy that we do not spend enough relaxed moments as a family.
That is very true, and even our daughter keeps asking when we will all go somewhere together like we used to before because she misses those happy outings.
Maybe this weekend we can go to the park or have a small picnic because spending time outdoors together can refresh our minds and strengthen our family bond.
That sounds lovely, and the children will be very excited, especially if we let them help prepare the food and plan the activities.
Yes, involving them in planning will make them feel important and included, and it will also teach them responsibility and teamwork.
I really like that idea, and honestly, I think we all need a little happiness and relaxation after these stressful weeks.
You are right, because constant stress affects not only our bodies but also our emotions, and sometimes we forget to pause and enjoy the simple moments of life.
Speaking of stress, I have been thinking more about your work situation, and I want to ask honestly how you are feeling now after talking about your fears earlier.
I feel slightly calmer, but I still have many worries in my mind, because uncertainty about the future makes me feel restless and distracted even when I try to relax.
That is natural because financial stability is very important for a family, but please remember that worrying constantly will only make you more tired and less focused.
I know you're right, but sometimes my thoughts keep repeating the same fears, and I imagine many possible problems before anything actually happens.
Maybe it would help if we make a practical financial plan together, because having a clear plan can reduce fear and give us a sense of control over the situation.
That is a very wise suggestion. And if we review our monthly expenses carefully, we might find areas where we can save money and build an emergency fund.
Yes, we can write down everything, including school fees, food, transport, electricity, and other regular costs, and then decide where we can reduce unnecessary spending.
That will help us feel more prepared, and preparation always gives confidence during uncertain times.
Also, I have been thinking about my skills and interests, and maybe I can start something small from home, like online work or tutoring, so I can contribute without leaving the children alone for long hours.
That sounds like a wonderful idea, especially because you are very patient and good at explaining things, and many children would benefit from learning with you.
I feel a little nervous about starting something new after so many years, but I also feel excited because learning and growing should never stop, no matter our age.
That is true, and trying something new can bring fresh energy and confidence into life, and I will support you fully in whatever you decide to do.
Thank you. Your encouragement always gives me courage to try things that I might otherwise be afraid to attempt.
We really are partners in everything, and when one of us feels weak, the other becomes strong, and that keeps our family stable.
Yes, and I believe our children learn about love, responsibility, and resilience by watching how we treat each other every day.
That is a beautiful thought, and it reminds me that our behavior shapes their future, so we must always try to communicate respectfully and solve problems calmly.
I completely agree, because a peaceful home environment helps children feel secure and confident about the world around them.
You know, sometimes when I watch them sleeping peacefully at night, I feel a deep sense of purpose, because everything we do is really for their happiness and future.
I feel the same, and even when days are difficult, seeing their smiles makes every struggle meaningful.
Life is not always easy, but moments like these remind me that we are building something truly valuable together.
Yes, we are building not only a home, but also memories, values, and dreams that will stay with our children for their entire lives.
And that is why we must keep moving forward with patience, love, and hope, even when the path feels uncertain.
I believe we can face anything as long as we stay united and keep communicating openly like we are doing now.
I feel very grateful for this conversation because talking with you always helps me see life more clearly and calmly.
Me too, and tomorrow after the school meeting, we will talk again and decide our next steps carefully and thoughtfully.